Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm your brother Abu Talha Zahak, and today we'll be discussing about this important topic that we have heard quite often, that Saudi Arabia has actually changed the Quran in the Hebrew language, and they mistranslated the Quran in the Hebrew language to appease Israelis. And a lot of people have started to believe this news that Saudi Arabia has actually done this job. First thing first. The Muslims believe that Quran is protected and no one can change it. So if the Muslims are told that the Quran is changed, that means the Muslims don't have the proper belief, and they believe that Quran can be changed. And in fact, the people who believe that Quran can be changed are the Shiites, the Iranian Ithna Sharia people. They believe that Quran can be changed, and Quran was changed by the second Caliph of Islam. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when they could accuse the second Caliph of Islam, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, of omitting some of the verses, some of the ayahs of the Quran, then they can't accuse anyone else. And in fact, the Saudi rulers are also the followers of the Sunni Islam, so obviously when they could accuse the ruler of the past, so they can also accuse the ruler of the present. Anyway, if you dig into this news story to understand what was the reality, to see who actually started this lie and who was behind it. And I'm really thankful to our brother from UK, from Birmingham, brother Shoaib Hussein, who wrote an article yesterday on this topic, and alhamdulillah, we also published it on the Milli Chronicle, and we have debunked this news. So this news was actually going viral on the social media, and in fact it was also going viral among the Arab audience. So if you dig into this story to understand who was behind it and what was the source of this news story, you'll see that this was first published by an Ikhwani news agency, a Muslim Brotherhood news agency called as Middle East Monitor. And for your kind information, Middle East Monitor was founded by Middle East Monitor actually runs under Tariq Ramadan, a rape accused Tariq Ramadan. So Tariq Ramadan is the grandson of the founder of Ikhwan al-Muslimin, Hassan al-Banna. So it's quite obvious that try to connect the dots, you'll understand that why they are trying to do this. And in fact, Middle East Monitor published a lot of such lies against Saudi Arabia and Prince Mohammed bin Salman in the past. There was a news that Prince Mohammed bin Salman was dead. There was a news, and in fact, the recent attack on Saudi Arabia, like Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he hacked the Jeff Bezos WhatsApp and phone. I mean, there are a lot of lies and fabricated news which are going against Saudi Arabia, and this is the latest one among them. So anyway, this was first published by Middle East Monitor, and Middle East Monitor quoted a Palestinian source, and in fact this Palestinian source belongs to Hamas, and this Palestinian source is Shihab News Agency. So if you look at this Shihab News Agency, you'll see that this Shihab News Agency was they had a Facebook page in 2015, and Facebook banned this page for publishing extremist content. So this news agency in itself is extremist, and they're infamous for publishing extremist blogs and extremist posts. Anyway, if you look at this news, you'll see that it quotes a researcher called as Aladdin Ahmed. I only know one Aladdin from Disney, and I don't know who is this Aladdin. So it says that Aladdin Ahmed, he is an expert on Israeli affairs. So he has confirmed, and he actually went into this, and he studied this, and he came up with this news that Saudi Arabia has mistranslated Quran in the Hebrew language, and they have removed the ayahs pertaining to Masjid al-Aqsa and Ismail alayhi salam, and they have also removed the name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the individual who actually did this research is Aladdin. I don't know who is this Aladdin. Maybe he had some genie or something. So Aladdin Ahmed is the man who was behind it. Maybe he's like some Payam Goshiri. Recently someone made a review of the Messiah series, and they came up with this mystical man, Payam Goshiri. So maybe this Aladdin Ahmed is someone like him. So he claimed this thing, and this was first published by an Iranian website. And after an Iranian website, iqna.ir, published this news, the Ikhwani news media, Middle East Monitor, they published it after 28 hours, and then it started to get viral on the social media. So this claim says that Masjid al-Aqsa has been translated as Temple Mount or Solomon's Temple, and it also says that the name of Jesus is missing in this Quran, and they also says that the forefather and the grandfather of the Arabs, Prophet Ismail's name is also missing in this Quran. And they also gave a screenshot of this Quran, and they say that here the word Masjid al-Aqsa is missing. Anyway, Shoaib Hussain, he quoted Dr. H.A. Hillier. He's an author and academic in international relations and religion. So this person, Dr. H.A. Hillier, he analyzed this news, and he said that the word used in the Saudis' Hebrew translation to refer mosque is something he mentioned in Hebrew, and then he says that when it is transliterated in English, this word means misgad. So the word which Saudi Arabia's Hebrew translation of Quran has for Masjid al-Aqsa is misgad, and he mentions that this word is not for the temple in the Hebrew language. So it's quite obvious, and it's clear that the Saudi translation of the Hebrew Quran, the Hebrew translation of the Saudi Quran published by Saudi Arabia, it doesn't have the word temple for Masjid al-Aqsa. It has the word misgad. So it's clear that this is a blatant lie. The second thing, the article claims that the Saudi translation of the Quran, the Hebrew translation of the Quran published by Saudi Arabia, removed the word Muhammad. So he also further explained that there is no V in there is no V and B in Hebrew language. So obviously there are a lot of words in Hebrew language which cannot be which cannot comply with the daily usage of words which we use. Anyway, Middle East Monitor is famous for publishing anti-Saudi news. I mean, previously they published this news that Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he defended Chinese concentration camps, and later it was found that it was a blatant lie. And in fact, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, he also defended the Chinese concentration camps, but Middle East Monitor did not publish this news. So this news agency is biased, and it's absolutely lean towards the Muslim Brotherhood, and they are famous for propagating lies, and they have an agenda to promote hatred against Saudi Arabia. And interestingly, when you look at these events and these things closely, you'll see that Turkey has close alliance with Israel. And in fact, recently, 2 days ago, I pretended to be an Israeli, and I applied for the Turkish visa, and it says that you don't even need a visa. You get 90-day stay for free in Israel, in Turkey. So Israelis can travel freely to Turkey without any visa. And if a Palestinian wants to enter Turkey, he has to pay $80 to get into Turkey, to get a visa of Turkey. So it's clear that what Tayyip Erdogan claims, he makes contrary claims to his actions. So this is all politics. What this Muslim Brotherhood does is all politics in the name of religion, in the name of emotions. They play with the emotions of Muslims, they play with the Palestinian cause, and they play with the blood, and they play with the wealth of the Muslims. So I tell you at the end that when such news comes to you, don't hear, don't give your ears to it, and don't just spread it for the sake of spreading. Read, understand, analyze, try to trace the sources, try to get to the bottom of the story. If such thing comes to you, try to go to the bottom of the story and try to see who is behind it. So obviously, as expected, the Iranians and the Muslim Brotherhood, the illegal brothers of Iranians, are behind this. Finally, there is an ayat in the Quran in Surah 49 and Ayah 6 which says, "O you who believe, if a disobedient person comes to you with a news, verify it, lest you harm people in ignorance, and afterwards you become regretful to what you have done." So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind always when such news stories come to you. Try to verify it, validate it, and don't just trust the thing for the sake of just reading. I heard a lot of people saying, no, it was first published on CNN. It came on CNN, it came on Fox, it came on Guardian, it came on the Daily Mail. So how does it matter? I mean, how can you say that since it appeared on CNN and Fox and Daily Mail, it's verified and it's confirmed, it's credible? So don't go by the likes, don't go by the domain name, don't go by if you find the name on the Wikipedia, don't just trust the news agency. Go to the bottom of the story, try to analyze the sources, and try to see who is behind it. And obviously you'll understand the agenda. I'm your brother Abu Talha Zahak, and I hope that this matter is clear, inshallah. And this is my humble request to all of you, that don't trust anything that comes to you, especially against the Muslim countries and Muslim nations. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.